If you're tired of setting goals that sound so amazing in January but actually feel impossible by February, then this short reset will change everything. I'm Nadia, and this is She Builds Again. This is a space for women who are ready to rise, rebuild, and rewrite their story through radical self-love. So before we start and before we dive in, I want you to get out a pen and some paper for this exercise. We're actually going to go into 3 questions that I want you to answer, and I'm going to talk you through why each one of these is so important. So the first question is, what's one goal that I set last year that didn't stick and why? And so the reason why it's so important for us to look at the goals that we set from last year in January 2025 and figure out what didn't stick and why they didn't happen. So what didn't you bring to fruition? What was the challenge that you kept coming up against? So get into the mindset of really dissecting exactly what happened, where the highs and lows were, so that you don't repeat those same mistakes in 2026. And so I'll give you an example from my own life. I had set this goal and I had created even this beautiful vision board all about it. And all my goals were on there from 2025. It was building our new house. It was hitting a certain income milestone. It was all of these things with our family and community. And the one goal that I did not bring to fruition last year was a luxury item. I had this vision, this hope to go to this beautiful 5-star hotel called the Kempinski in Bali. This is a very, very expensive hotel. I'm talking $500 a night or more. And then you have to add on like the amenities, like massages and all of the cool things that you want to do. But this hotel is so, so stunning. They have all these different restaurants. It is so amazing. And I've gone to visit the hotel before, but I've never stayed there overnight. So my dream was to have at least 2 nights at this hotel sometime in 2025. But the reason why it didn't happen was actually because we had so many different financial priorities this year that we just couldn't go after the luxury things. We had to really stick to our budget. We were building a house, which is where I am right now. You can see that the background of the video is a little different. I'm so excited to be in our new home. And so because of that priority to build a beautiful home for our family, it was really important that we just not focus on other things that are luxuries or wants rather than needs. And so that's exactly why I wasn't able to bring that part of my vision board to life, that particular dream. And so I want you to do the same for yourself. I want you to look at the goals you set and why they didn't happen. What excuses are coming up? What reasons, maybe they're valid, came up that you really need to take into account so you don't continue to repeat the same mistake. Let's say you had a health goal to lose 15 pounds, but while you were going on this journey, you sprained your ankle, or maybe you broke your leg, or whatever the case may be. You therefore lost momentum and you decided that you weren't going to keep up with your gym routine. So whatever the goal, figure out why it was that you weren't able to bring it to fruition. And then you can decide if you want to keep the goal and roll it over to 2026, or maybe you just don't focus on that at all because it's not really something that you desire in your heart and it's not something that you feel aligned to in this particular season. And so that's question number 1. Question number 2 is, are the goals that I'm setting aligned with who I'm becoming versus who I think I should be? This one is so important. I'm going to tell you why. Honestly, as women, there is so much pressure on us. And I really do believe that sometimes we set these goals out of maybe guilt, out of shame, versus out of a place of really getting clear on who it is that we're becoming and loving the version of us exactly where we are as we walk toward becoming who we desire to be. I want you to be really honest when you decide on your 2026 goals and ask this question for each and every one of those. Is this aligned with who I'm becoming versus who I think I should be, who my parents think I should be, who my husband thinks I should be, who my church thinks I should be? I really want you to be honest about your own timeline in this life, because it's going to be so much different from anyone else's. And we put this pressure on ourselves to have these milestones at particular ages, and it just doesn't work for us because we are our own unique person and we are on our own unique path. And so I really do encourage you to start to think and start to test what it is that you want and make sure that it's aligned. Make sure it's 100% aligned with the woman that you desire to be in the future. Maybe it's 5 or 10 years in the future, or maybe even just 1 year in the future. Make sure that your only competition is yourself. Do not try to set goals because you want abs like Jennifer Lopez or because you want a bank account like so-and-so on Instagram. I really want you to be honest about where you are right now, but also who you're becoming and the things that you want. Make sure that it's like a stepping stone. Start to build upon those habits and start to make small but healthy progress toward becoming that version of you. And so the last question that I really want you to answer before 2026 happens is, what would happen if I replaced pressure with peace in the planning process? I'm going to share with you that I've been the type of person who has really hustled toward goals. I've been the type of person who's really been so focused and put so much pressure on myself and really been relentless with trying to take action and face my fears and get out of my comfort zone and just keep moving forward. I just don't want to stay stuck in one place. And that hustle is all fine and dandy. It's actually a really good thing. But the pressure that comes with it can be really, really toxic and sometimes rooted in self-hate versus self-love. And so I want you to get to a point where you're able to surrender. It's a word that I've really been practicing and trying to learn what it means and go deeper with that word, because I got to a place this year where I had hit my max. I had gone through so many challenges that I was determined to keep moving forward, but my energy was in such a low place. I had to get to the point where I realized that not everything is in my control. I really do have to surrender. I have to surrender to a higher power. I have to trust in divine timing. I have to trust that God's ways are higher than my ways. And so sometimes that means changing goals. That means sometimes quitting entirely. Maybe you're going after the wrong thing for the wrong reason. But also, I think in most cases, it just means that you have to go at a slower pace. You have to find ways to inject joy and fun into it instead of making everything into a chore and being so hard on yourself, and you don't even allow any room for grace. So when you have a moment to actually sit down and go through these 3 questions, I want you to think about how you can make something feel fun. Because the reality is, if it's not enjoyable, then it's so much harder. It's literally like dragging a boulder up a hill instead of something that can be exciting and something that you look forward to every single day. And remember, it's not always about who we're becoming in the future. It's about our character in this present moment. It's about our character every step of the way. And so I have areas definitely that I want to improve upon this year, but I'm remembering that I have to give myself grace. I have to give myself forgiveness because I did not always show up exactly as I wanted to this year. And thankfully, every day that we wake up is an opportunity for us to press reset. And so I'm so excited about 2026. I feel like 2025 was a really challenging year for me and so many people that I know. And so I'm excited to see what 2026 is going to bring. And if you answer these 3 questions, I'm really hopeful that it will help you to set the right goals for the right reasons and to make it as fun as possible, so it doesn't feel like a chore or a burden or something that you're just going to forget about or give up on in a couple weeks' time. So if this episode helped you to rethink your goals for 2026, I want you to hit subscribe and share it with a friend who's ready to start fresh too. And don't forget, your reset begins with your belief. So keep dreaming big, and I'm going to see you in the next episode.